G'day team. So I often get asked essentially daily on how to utilize ChatGPT in your daily life. So I'm going to take you through a couple of business examples and also personal examples so then you too can hopefully start utilizing and essentially just how to add efficiency back into your day. And so I'll start off with a couple personal examples. So um, anytime I'm looking at doing any sort of shopping, typically online, but also in store, the first thing you want to do is actually try and find a discount code. Why? Because typically you use a lot of discount codes or a lot of products these days have discount codes, and there's heaps of websites for discounts codes. But essentially, when it comes to ChattyG, you don't need to worry about that anymore. Essentially, you can just go to the website you're looking for. So I just recently purchased from Happy Meta, so use this as an example. You just put the URL in there for the product that you're looking for, and is there any discount codes? Pretty straightforward, pretty simple, but essentially you can use this for any product, essentially anything you're ever purchasing. And you'll see here it already brings up the discount codes available and the where it's pulling that data from. Now the thing to note is the date that it's pulling it from. So just make sure that you're in a particular date or month, because it's at the end of the day, you don't want to waste your time trying to use discount codes that are expired or no longer work. So that's a really good, really good example of how easy it is to try and get discount codes on anything you're doing these days. Then I'll switch it over to a bit of a voice conversation. So that's personally when I'm shopping, then when I'm driving. So as an example, say I'll keep that conversation going. I'm just going to use my phone and use ChatGPT on my phone and use the voice conversation based on that similar topic there around habit. G'day, ChatGPT. I just want to have a conversation about Happy Mehmet. I recently ordered this product and it came with bone broth. Can you just quickly give me an example on how I should use bone broth in my daily life?
G'day. Bone broth is a versatile and nutritious addition to your daily routine. You can sip it straight from a mug like a warm, savory drink, especially comforting in the mornings or evenings. It also makes a great base for soup.
So the really good thing about that is that essentially that starts a conversation, starts a layer. And what I mean by that is that you kind of want to layer everything you're doing within ChatGPT, because essentially that's what's going to make the world of difference when you're using it long term. And so what I mean by that is I'm just going to refresh my screen and just show you guys. You'll see here, it's just started these two different threads here, and these are different threads. Essentially now this particular thread here will be a thread that I can have that conversation about bone broth or maybe health and fitness or whatever it might be. But typically I use like this one here, look at the peak performance. Essentially I use this thread for anything I want to dive into, what's really healthy and wellness, and what am I focusing on. I've been doing a lot of cooking lately, so there's a lot of cooking information in there. But essentially you want to be able to use a thread to keep diving into into this. So back to the voice conversation. What's really handy about this when you're driving is essentially you can use this technology, hands-free, of course, to dive into any conversation, any topic, and literally have a conversation like you're having a conversation with a human, but essentially go really deep into a conversation, into a layer, and into a topic, which is super helpful, especially when you're wanting to keep learning. The other thing I should also point out is a lot of people use ChatGPT and they end up having 20 million threads. Mine are very structured because I have this MISC thread. This MISC thread essentially is what I use when I don't really want to keep a conversation going for a long time. It's like a quick and easy conversation, but essentially allows me to then dive into any topic whatsoever and just keep continuing that conversation forever. So essentially, you're never worried about wasting or starting new conversations or talking on top of other conversations. Why that's so important is because you don't want to mix up conversations. You want to keep topics together in one thread, and you don't want to mix up these conversations in amongst multiple other threads. It just can be get really confusing. The last thing I'll quickly point out is when you're working on a project. So I'll just bring up a project thread. Let's go this AI accounting topic that I've been working on recently. And so this AI accounting, essentially, I started this AI accounting thread because I was doing a webinar. But essentially, this entire thread is only for AI and accounting. And why that's so important is because when I want to go back and talk about accounting and talk about artificial intelligence side accounting, everything is in this one thread. I don't have to go and look for it in a different thread. It's like all in one thread. And so I won't show you any project related information on here, of course, but essentially how we use it daily essentially is around keeping that project information together. And why is that so handy is because any point in the future, today, tomorrow, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months from now, you can go back to the thread, ask any question, and it'll have all that information based on that particular on that project in that one thread, and it's super empowering. You never have to, look information up again or try and find out where that was located. It just keeps everything together in a nice, simple spot. So it's super, just efficient, just really easy. All right, that's a few tips for today. All right, hopefully that helps. Cheers, guys.